divine beings. I know it's been a minute and it's probably going to be another minute before I make another video on this channel. But I've been getting a lot of questions about a video that I did. I don't know which video y'all talking about, but it's been a lot of people inboxing me on Instagram about the books that I've read. And I guess I made a video. I don't know. I can't find it, so I'm gonna make it real simple by just putting a couple of my most influential books that I've read as far as my spiritual journey inside of this video. Okay, so I got a couple of pictures here that I've taken to share with you guys to make this video as quick as possible. The first book is going to be Ancient Future. Let me put it up on the screen. Ancient Future is like, oh my God, I freaking love this book. But let me tell y'all about Ancient Future. It's really, if you've ever read the Kybalion, the 7 Hermetic Principles, this book is pretty much that book. However, if you are the African diaspora, okay, this book goes into a little bit more detail concerning like the history, the background, the wars, and all those different things that took place as well. So I normally tell people, my students or people who come across me, I'll tell you guys to go get this book before you get the 7 Hermetic Principles or the Kybalion, the 3 Initiates, or whatever title you see on it. It's literally the same thing. So this goes into detail about the law of correspondence, the law of gender, cause and effect. If you've ever heard those particular laws being talked about within the spiritual community, you should definitely get, oh, it's on this side. You should definitely get this particular book right here. I freaking love this book. And it's not a book that you read one time and you put down and you don't pick it back up. The more you read this book, matter of fact, the more you read this book and it stays in your mind, you'll start to be able to apply these different laws, the cosmic laws of the universe. You'll start being able to see them being represented in your life and how to maneuver, influence these particular situations when they happen inside of your life. So that's book number 1. I freaking love that. Ancient Future by Wayne B. Chandler. Okay, so let's see. What is the next one? Ivan Van Sertima is the next one, and this book is called They Came Before Columbus. So he goes into a lot of information about ancient America and how Africans were here prior to Columbus, et cetera, et cetera. There's a lot of controversy around him and around what he has to say. But if you research him and his dealings with the CIA and the American government, baby, he checked them and put them in their place about some stuff that goes along with American history. So let's just put that out there. You ain't got to hear me say it, and you don't even got to believe me. Just go research it for yourself. So this is another book that I really like. They Came Before Columbus, by Ivan Van Sertima. He also has a lot of like seminars here on YouTube that you could go watch and just listen to while you cooking or while you cleaning your house or something like that. So that will be book number 2. I freaking love that book. It's definitely something that you can read and then pick back up at a later time and probably get additional information that you may have missed the first time. Okay, what else do I have? Excuse me. And just in case y'all don't know, I do have 2 other YouTube channels. So for now, most of my time is going towards my tarot channel. So I do tarot readings, and my channel is called Black Moon. So you can look it up if you're interested. And join me over there. That's where I do live chats and stuff like that too. Oh, this is one of my favorites as well. Hold on, let me make sure you can see it. Okay, and this one is called The Isis Paper, and this is by Frances Kresling. Oh my gosh, she is a freaking beast. Now, she also has some seminars and stuff here on YouTube as well that you can listen to. I'm not going to go into detail with that. There's a lot of controversy around her and what she had to say as well. But she was very thorough. But that's somebody you could kind of add to your list, especially reading this particular book here as well. It's a really, really good book. Something that if you read it once, you're going to want to come back and kind of revisit it after you read it the first time. So the Isis Paper is really good. Isis is the goddess Aset, you know, Osiris' wife. They call her Isis and Osiris. Their African names is Aset and Asar. Okay, so this is also a really good book that I like as well. Let me see, what else do I have for you guys? Now, this one is not necessarily, well, I'll put that one last. Let me give you guys this one because this is another one of my favorites. And this is by, baby, I'll be messing up his name, okay? Kaba, Kamene, Hiawatha, shut up. Hold on. Hold on, friend. Let me see. I gotta see it close up. Professor Kaba. Let's just put it like that. This book, Religion Before Spirituality, this is literally going to connect all the dots for you if you're someone that's kind of like trying to learn more about Kemetic spirituality. What were those Africans doing before they were introduced to religion and Christianity, etc., etc. I wanted to kind of keep this one for last, but since I already have it on here, because the other one book that I have left to share with you guys is not based on anything connected to Kemetic spirituality or African spirituality, but it is kind of. But anyway, for this book, I'm going to put a link down below in the description or either the comment section. He actually has free courses that you guys can take. So if you want to know more about African spirituality or like the Kemetic type information, he literally has seminars and stuff all over YouTube, so you can find him on YouTube. But he also has his own website that I don't feel like enough people talk about. But he has a free course. Like you could literally take a course on this particular information inside of this book and additional stuff that he has on his website, other books that he has as well. You guys can go on his website and take the free course that he has. But he's very thorough. I freaking love him. I almost watch almost everything that he does. Also, Dr. Layla Africa is another person that I freaking love. He was actually one of my teachers when I don't know if it's the videos are still up, but him and his wife used to do like classes where you can diagnose yourself when it comes to your health by looking at your tongue. And they used to get on YouTube like I ain't gonna say every week. I don't remember if it was every week, but they used to do like diagnosis where once you get up in the morning, you stick out your tongue and you see like what's actually happening in your body just by looking at your tongue. So Dr. Layla Africa is someone else that you should also look up. I freaking love him. His wife still has like everything that they were doing together. She's still in business. She still sell products. They have like health like supplements and stuff like that. If you like Dr. Sebi, then you will love Dr. Layla Africa as well. They're like one and the same. One of the books is not Dr. Layla Africa's book, but one book that he personally turned me on to is called Melanin, The Chemical Key to Black Greatness. Oh my God. You should read that too. I don't know if you will like it or not because it's more like scientific, but I'm a nerd, y'all, even though people be assuming that I'm one way when I'm probably the total opposite, but I'm a nerd, okay? So I freaking love that book. So if you could find Melanin, The Chemical Key to Black Greatness, is so freaking good. It goes into detail about how certain substances mess with our body, mess with our melanin, the differences between the female mind versus the masculine mind and how these different sides of the brain kind of work. And while women were kind of looked at as like the oracle when you think of spirituality, magic, fortune telling, divination, and things of that nature, is inside of that book. Melanin, The Chemical Key to Black Greatness. Find that book. That's so freaking good. I don't know why I didn't put the picture up here, but that's also one of my favorite books. And before I go, let me take this off. I do get a lot of people asking me, like, what is the book where did you find, like, the Bible verses and connect them to Kemetic spirituality? The Bible. Because I come from a Christian background. Like, we grew up in a Christian household. Oh, sorry, y'all, but this is actually a shirt. It's not my bra, but whatever. We grown. But anyway, there isn't a book that exists that's going to break down the entire King James Version Bible and connect it to Kemetic spirituality. The reason why I can do that is because I come from a Christian background. And when I finally was mature enough to decide what I wanted to do for myself concerning what is religion, what is spirituality, I went hard when it came to reading the Bible. I literally read the regular Bible front to back 10 times. probably more or probably less, but I read it that much because I was just thirsty on understanding who God is, what that means in my life, feeling like I wasn't connected to Christianity as far as how I grew up with Christianity, only to pretty much find out like a lot of stuff in Kemetic spirituality is definitely inside of the King James Version Bible. So those videos y'all kind of see of me with the Kemetic tales, I didn't read that in the book. I knew, well, I did read it in the book because that's the only way I know the Bible verses, right? But the reason why I could connect them together in that type of way is because I read the Bible first. So I will sit up here and say the Bible is also another good resource, because the more you learn about Comedic spirituality and not just what everybody say, oh, Jesus is Heru and Jesus is a Sar and all this other kind of stuff. I know people like to limit it to that one box, but it really goes way beyond that. I'm talking about if you look at the Old Testament Bible, just the Old Testament, right? It's some stuff in the New Testament too, but the whole Old Testament Bible, I could literally make a video and break down the whole Old Testament Bible because I've read it so many times that when I started studying Kemetic spirituality and I started studying all these other African-based spiritual practices, it was like, hold on, ain't that in the Bible? So that's how I know. So I cannot give you guys a book based on that. You will literally have to sit down and read the Bible. So I'll personally always say, don't throw your Bible away. It's a lot of good stuff in there. I feel like our ancestors coming from the African diaspora, they also seen their own history, their own knowledge when they were given those Bibles, where they was, hiding hoodoo, voodoo, and African spiritual practices behind the saints. Because people say they transferred into Christianity when in reality they were hiding their practices behind the Bible, right? Because they seen their own stories. Our ancestors ain't dumb. So I would personally say, get you a Bible too. If you don't like the King James Version, baby, they got a Gullah Geechee version. Okay, I'll put a link for the Gullah Geechee version Bible down below. I believe that's the whole Old Testament. That's really all you need. If you're someone who follow hoodoo or you're interested in hoodoo, the whole Old Testament is used in hoodoo. The Book of Psalms, Proverbs, baby, I'll be using all kind of Bible verses. Okay, so you don't got to throw your Bible away. A lot of that information came from a different source. So I would say the Bible is another book. The last one I'm going to put on here because I feel like it's important while you're on your spiritual journey to kind of listen to the stories of those who came before us. Somebody I really, really love is Zora Neale Hurston. Like literally anything that you could find of hers, you should get. Who was the lady who wrote Beloved? Toni Morrison, any of her books that you could find, you should get. And there is a couple of other ones too, but I'll leave it there. But if you guys are interested in the other side, because I feel like the more you can hear stories of women and men who came before you, you'll start connecting to that energy as well when it comes to like your ancestors. If you're trying to actually go on a spiritual path, because some people just want information so they can go and repeat what they heard somebody else say to other people to make them feel like they're smart. But if you're actually on a journey and you really trying to tap in and y'all want that other video about the other books, I'll list them in a separate video. Do I have another one though? Well, yeah, this other one is also about being on a spiritual path here as well. Did I even add it? No. So I'll just leave it here with Zora Neale Hurston. Any book that's like this type of information where you got those people talking about their experiences in being of the African diaspora and coming out of slavery and finding their freedom. Any book that you could find about the various different kinds of African-based spiritual practices, I'm talking about all of them, you should read them, because the more you read them, you will start seeing how much they're connected even though they're in different locations. um I had a friend that I used to talk to when I was on TikTok. I think is that his I'm trying to think of his TikTok, and just in case y'all want to go find him, but I think it's Geechee Rich 783 or 746 or something like that. Um we was talking about we're all connected. It's just the same boat, a different location as far as where we were all our ancestors was dropped off at. but we're all connected. So if you could find any books on the various African spiritual practices, the more you study them, the more you learn them, the more you'll start seeing the different connections between them all. So hopefully this is informative. I love y'all guys. I know I've been away for a while, but if you into like tarot and stuff and talking on live chat about spiritual things, join me on my other channel called Black Moon. I'll put a link down below. I love y'all, and hopefully I'll talk to y'all soon, but I won't make no promises.